see sex as a distraction from the liberation or as a helpful tool for the liberation?
Sex is for the body. Sex is not for you. Sex is neither helpful towards liberation nor is it a distraction. There is a fire burning in the kitchen of the neighbor. There is a stove in the neighbor's kitchen. Is it helpful for your dinner or is it blocking your dinner? It is neither helpful nor a problem. It is in the neighbor's house, it is not in your house. Sex is the body's concern, not yours. But you start talking a lot about sex when you become the body.
Acharya, why I ask this question is this because I'm like connected with Osho from long many years. So Osho ने इसमें like he has book also संभोग से समाधि की ओर, and he has also mentioned clearly that sex is your life force energy and you'll have to basically channelize that energy. So you don't agree with that?
Not a matter of agreeing, isn't it obvious? When you say sex is life force, sex is just that which carries forward Prakriti's game of procreation. Why are you so bothered about sex? Let Prakriti be bothered. She is very interested in running and continuously running the cycle of birth and death. That's the intention of Prakriti, that the cycle of birth and death should continue running. Your intention is just the opposite. Your intention is to drop out of this cycle. So why are you talking so much about sex? I'll again remind you. The stove is in the neighbor's kitchen. It is neither going to help you with your dinner, nor is it going to take away your dinner. Sex is the body's concern. Do not make it your concern. Your concern should be liberation alone. And when you are fully occupied with your legitimate concern, which is liberation, then thoughts of sex and such things do not bug you too much. Sex becomes a great issue for you only when you say, I am going to have sex and sex is going to satisfy me. That you can say only when you are a truthless wanderer. Whereas when your prime concern is truth and liberation, then you will simply not have the space, the vacancy to think too much of sex. Anybody who has ever written a critical exam, an exam on which a lot depends? Raise your hand, please. Many of you. On the eve of that exam, how many of you were dreaming of nubile angels, sexy sirens? How many of you were masturbating your way to the examination hall. When you have something really important in front of you, do you still remember sex? Maybe, some of us are extraordinary. But besides them, do you still remember sex? That's what. Your life has a very, very important purpose. If you can remember that, then sex will anyway recede into the background. It will no longer remain something very important or attractive. How many of you have attended the funeral of a close one? When you were at the cremation ground, were you sexually excited? Did anything called sex exist for you at that moment? That's what. Sex is only for those who are aimless, truthless, purposeless, mindless. They can keep fascinating and whiling away their time. And when you have too much time in which nothing to do, then sex is a great means to fill up your time. 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 hours. Time flies away like angels that you are dreaming of. Time just flies away. Sex is nothing but a killer of your precious time. You think it's a means of pleasure, it is rather a killer of your precious time. If you could honestly calculate how much of your life has gone towards sex and sex-related activities, you would be horrified. You would be hit by a big factual hammer. You would say, oh my God. I have whiled away so much of my precious time just running after sexual pleasure. And sex strikes exactly when you have energy. It is an energy stealer, not merely a time killer. It is a big thief of your energy. It is in your youth that you are the most full of energy. And that's when the sexual burglary happens. All your energy is taken away. And when I say energy, I do not mean that your energy flows away along with the semen, as some of the gurus are publicizing these days. I don't mean that. Look at the kind of energy you invest in running after a man or a woman. Hours you give to just foolishly thinking about stupid things, don't you? And then you come to a point when you feel that the object of your sexual desire is slipping away. And then there is such a great arousal of energy, a mad dissipation of energy, jealousy, envy, greed, anger. Days, weeks, months, years simply get lost. If somebody will ask you, what did you do in the last 5 years? You will not be able to present an account. All you will be able to say is, I was lost in sexual fantasies.
Food, air, water, shelter and other things is our body's need. Everything, food, air, water, shelter, we can buy from money, easily go to the market and get the thing. But this specific thing, do you support to go into red light areas and getting it?
Why do you need to go to red light areas? That which you want, somebody is eager to supply. It is not a one-sided demand. That which you want is wanted by the other side in equal intensity. You just need to be honest about the body's demand. And so does the other side need to be.
So we should frankly express ourselves. That's the only solution.
You should frankly know that the sexual urge belongs to the body. And then the same message goes to women as well. Women must also know that the sexual urge belongs to the body. And both of you, in your wisdom, must know how to deal with this urge.
Acharya, speaking of sexual needs, so as compared to men, women sexual needs in the sense they're more like they want to be hugged, or it's not. So is that also classified as a need of the body, and it's also sexual only? It's for the body.
Men are biologically programmed to inseminate. Women are biologically programmed to get fertilized. That does not require any conscious decision of yours. You are hardwired to produce kids. That is the agenda of the body. Produce kids. But always remember that that is not your agenda. The body will keep wanting kids. And that will show up in many forms. Whenever you will see a kid, you will feel attracted. And it appears like such an innocent expression of love. It is not love, and it has no innocence either. It is just your biological conditioning expressing itself. And if you stay with the kid long enough, you will find that the maternal instinct is arising within you. If you are not a mother yet, then the company of a newborn will arouse you to become a mother. That's a situation many young girls and women face. If there is a child in the family, if there is a birth in the family or in the neighborhood, they too start feeling like having a baby.
actually have an opposite problem. Like I never had any maternal instinct as such. After seeing my sister have a baby, I'm like, I really don't want one. Like it's so much of
Blessed.
wasting of time. So my mom calls me selfish for saying that I don't.
Blessed. Blessed.
But is it really selfish if I say
Whatever
that I
it
want to
be,
waste my time?
how does it matter? You call this selfish, fine, it is selfish, I'll still have it. How does it matter what name you want to attach to it?
Acharya ji, how sex is one of the way to enlightenment according to Osho. In Tantra, the supreme understanding, the book written by Osho, tantric sex and all this.
You read that book, right? And that brought you close to Osho. So the book served its purpose. What else can you serve to a sex obsessed mind if he is to be brought close to the Guru? If there is someone who listens only to the call of sex, and a well-meaning teacher wants to pull this person into a satsang, what would this person need to be told? Come over, come over. In the satsang we will talk of sex. That's what Osho did.
But why even in the ancient temples like in the Kona, they even mention that erotic structure?
There are 1.2 million ancient temples. Why are you talking of only those 2 temples in which there is some erotica? What does that tell about your mind?
Is there any such thing?
There are many temples containing many themes, many motifs, many kinds of engravements. Out of them, one happens to be sexual activity. It is okay. Man was depicting everything in the temples. Man also depicted camels and elephants. Why don't you talk about them? But it just happened that in a few temples, in a few rare temples, the penis and the vagina were displayed. Now that captures all of your mind. There are temples in which rats are displayed. Why don't you talk about them? But nobody ever asks me, in that particular temple, cat and mice have been painted. Acharya ji, please speak on them. But regularly I get this question. Acharya ji, Khajuraho. So much so that there was a suggestion to hold an entire camp in Khajuraho. A temple is not a monolithic idea. Temples come from various motivations. And temples have been built in India over a span of 3,000 years. A span of 3,000 years and a geographical stretch covering an entire subcontinent. So obviously there is going to be a lot of diversity. Somewhere, at some point in time, you are surely going to find a temple that is depicting the sexual act as well. And that is okay. If the nose can be depicted in a temple, if the forehead can be depicted in a temple, if the eye can be shown, it is but natural that at some point, somewhere, the penis might also be shown. There is nothing extraordinary about it. But if you talk too much about the penis, that tells something about your mind.